for the Senate this turn. As you think about it, like you could have played Cradle instead of the Dryad and still got
You
Collective
could have.
if you have it in the main. Like it's not a given that Collective was in the main. It usually is, but maybe it's not right
Right.
now.
But if you look at the board of Antonio, like the deck really didn't have too many artifacts. Like the mana base is, there's no Seed of the Synod, for example. So the Collector Oof, while it's a haymaker in this format, like it in this matchup, like it didn't really look as good last turn at
Yeah, it's kind
least.
of funny, right? When you think about like Kappa Cannon, he also gets around that. It's just like,
Right.
okay, you have like a Collective. I don't care. I still tap my artifacts for mana. Even those who can't tap for mana. Oh my god, this is getting out of control.
Dude,
This is
Antonio,
the biggest turn. We got Blastoise in the house. Blastoise up against a 1 mana 1/2 Squire. Yeah, well, Squire has 2 mana. What's like in our chat? Is anybody in chat? Like, is chat still alive? Because we don't see anybody in chat. I need the first person in chat to tell us what's the name of a generic 1/2 for 1 mana. Back to Natan. Natan, you are between a rock and a hard place, very much so, even more so than the player in the last round. What do you want to do here? I guess there's always an out of trying to naturally your way out of this because the Kappa Cannoneer is not
I
going to
mean,
kill you
this
in a single swing.
isn't that probably what Nathan has been like, Natan has been thinking like so far, because that Cradle and the Green Sun, like that's almost lethal, right? Like
Well, that's 16 damage.
yeah, I mean,
Oh, the green sun. Yeah, you added 2.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah, okay, you got
like we are not
19.
too far from like Green Sunning from for like 7 or 8, like 7 for a Atraxa Grand Unifier or 8 for a Lethal Crater Hoof.
Honestly, I'm not really sure if Atraxa actually does it. It depends on what you get. Like, I think in the long run, you do need natural order. You're not gonna really win from the spot set without natural order, at least in the first game. But let's see. Like, Natan doesn't really have any attacks here, right? You just like crush into the turtle and die. So at this point, is that a blast zone? Like, what is going on in this deck? That can't be a blast zone.
It, we gotta double check on that, but yeah, we definitely there's a Cradle there. Also, I saw a natural order. Um,
You saw a natural order in hand?
there was a natural order, and it is very very castable this turn.
Okay, so if we have like the Green Sun Senate and a natural order, we can attack for 19 here. There's like how many points of blockers? Like 8. That actually like leaves the Kappa alive. So natural order is no good here unless you find a Traxa, as you mentioned. Oh, by the way, delighted halflings are 1/2 for 1. But we were looking for a vanilla
That's like
creature.
that's like the newest addition to Magic.
We were looking like for bad stuff, you know.
Yeah, more like Savannah lines, but vice versa.
Yeah, Nathan, very, very deep into the tank. Like, there are so many lines, but you gotta consider, right? How many cards is Antonio gonna draw next turn? Like, or how big? Oh, is this what we got? Oh, now we can deal more damage because the layer of the Hydra is actually bigger. Okay. Okay, that works. That's actually like 24.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's
I like that
24
a lot.
plus whatever the size of the layer of the Hydra is, and that should actually be lethal. That's like, we got, how much is that? Like 8 points of blockers? That's not enough. This is like at least 24 plus whatever the size of the layer of the Hydra is. Maybe we even got enough. I think we might even have like enough lands in the graveyard to grow the Reclaimer. And that should be lethal. Literally nothing you can do there. Like, you can block, it's not going to be any good, and we should be headed to the second game. Yeah.
Yeah,
Whoa!
this is so sad for Antonio because like there was a force plus a pitch in hand. Like he
There were
didn't
2 forces.
right. Like, it was like, dude. I mean, the cards were there. It was just filthy Allosaurus Shepherd.
Yeah, and that's also part what makes the matchup against like all these like elf decks so awkward. You're kind of incentivized to trade your forces early because you know there's a chance of like Shepard coming down. But then
Right.
again, do you
Like-
really want to
like-
trade that for like what did you see?
I
Like,
was just gonna say like would you force Green Suns in it for X0, for example? Like it's kind of a stinker, right?
yeah, it absolutely sucks, and that's honestly, if you ask me, that's a major part of especially Legacy, putting your opponent to decisions they really don't want to make. I mean, that's one of those things that people talk about, like the key to like a perfect poker match is like doing exactly that. And ever since I've heard that about poker, I really like that idea. Like, you constantly make your opponent make decisions they do not want to make.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
they feel like, shit, I like, can you like make the game easier for me? No,
No.
this is Legacy.
We do like the opposite thing, right? Like same with Once Upon a Time. Like, dude, like Force of Willing of Once Upon a Time is like such a that's such a like a nightmare scenario. But like, and then they pick up a Star Shepherd, and you feel like, dude,
What did I do with my life,
like,
right?
at least I didn't lose one life, I guess.
Okay, let's see. What is Antonio going to bring in here? Antonio has pulled up a couple of chalices. There's even a world where he might actually take them out. Is that what it's like. It's interesting. I think I'd rather take out the forces than the chalices. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure. I mean, technically, the forces still count the black spells, right? Yeah, it looks like the
They
chalices are
do.
going
They
out.
do. Yeah, chalice is a little wonky because even if it hits for one, like Nathan can always like green sun for the Alascio Shepherd, follow up with some reclaimers after.
Yeah, the thing is, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of, especially like the Cradle controller variants, they often don't have that many LSR Shepherds. But I could be wrong. But I
Yeah,
thought
they
like,
really don't. They really don't. It's most like it's sometimes like a one off, a two off, the three
mm.
off.
And I want to say the most common way I lose with elves to this
Mm.
is when they get the chalice and I don't have the shepherd. Because then, like the combo version, like has a real big problem. This version is a little bit more mid-rangey. You can always like natural order for stuff, but natural order is also so hard to resolve. So overall, I still kind of like it because the 8-cast deck has some good stuff to bring in. We saw Plague Engineers, for example. That's going to be a very big one. And Antonio is going to be on the play, so Antonio is certainly going to be hoping for like a very fast start. But
Yeah.
Kai, you are our
But-
resident Cradle control expert. We played like 6 or 7 games early on, and I think you actually won one.
Dude, you crushed me.
So how did you manage to win that one game? What should Natan do?
So Nathan, I don't know exactly his list, but Force of Vigor is a big player in the sideboard, right? Just like especially juicy when you can snack an Ursa Saga before the first chapter comes down, and maybe something else like a Mox Opal maybe, or really anything, right? Um,
This is a PG-18 stream, dude. So you can say that those dirty. Actually, I'm not even sure. But that's actually dirty. Like if you're playing like the Saga deck and your opponent takes the worst part is like when you go something on turn 1, some
Right.
artifact. On turn 2 you play your Saga and they're like in response to the first
Good.
chapter trigger, you're like, oh, I know where we're
God
going
damn
here.
it. Yeah, dude. Here we go again.
Just like undo my first and my second turn while you're at it. Sure, be my guest.
But yeah, other than that, I don't know if Natan wants to bring in many cards in this matchup because, like as you said, the Alastar Shepherd is already in the main. Collector Oof is also probably in the main. Natural orders for Cradle, Behemoth, and Athroxa are already pretty powerful, and like Antonio really has to do a lot about this matchup because like Collector Oof is such a big beating, so Antonio needs cards like Otawara or Dismember or like any of those removal spells, right? While also applying a lot of pressure at the same time to not lose to a lethal Crater Hoof.
So
It's not gonna be easy for 8-cast, but it can go either way.
so while we're waiting, I think it's important to also sometimes just like step back and appreciate other things in life. Do you see this shirt that Antonio is wearing?
Dude, I love it.
This looks amazing. Seriously, like I thought you were wearing like the
looks-
coolest shirt in all of the convention hall, but
Oh yeah. Maybe later we can people can see.
you should actually like take a
Oh,
picture with you two together. Like,
seriously, that like I would switch shirts.
we would get
right
all
now.
the sponsors on the show. So if you want to sponsor this, reach out to us.
Dude,
There
he's
are
like,
still
he's like
some
freaking-
sponsorships available, especially for fashion brands. I mean, probably like we are like legacy players are the #1 target audience for fashion.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so what does Antonio have here? Another saga. Oh, is this like double Mox Opal, the dreaded double Mox Opal
Well,
hand?
his land doesn't look terrible. Yeah, there's like a saga going on. There's also an active force, I think.
An active force sounds a lot more menacing than it actually is. It's like an active volcano. No, it's an active force of will. Oh, see, that's basically the position that you're in. Like if you have Shepherd, you probably wouldn't play it on the first turn if you have Noble Hierarch. But does Antonio want to counter this now?
Yeah, dude,
It's
it
so
is so
awkward.
awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, and we pick up another force. Yeah, now we got double active force. We're digging us deeper into the hole, but oh, got double force, double Mox Opal. The last card is. Can you tell what that is?
It might be a thought monitor, maybe.
Oh, that would be good.
I didn't get a good look, but it might be.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks
I
like
think a lot of the game is going to be dictated what Natan actually does here in the second turn. The second, there's a what we call it umpusten, snuff out. There's a snuff out. I almost want to call this a Golgari charm. No, it's okay. Never mind, Julian. You're crazy. You're seeing things.
Like this is the card that kind of holds the whole deck together.
Yeah.
And it's pretty much we're forcing. It's called Feed Artisan. It's one of those Ikoria cards that were a little bit of like sleepers, I want to say. Like I think the companions were the big winners in the Ikoria set, but Feed Artisan pretty much like a baby between Tarmogoyf and Birthing Pot.
Yeah, it looks like Antonio's about to crush in for a ton of damage. We're gonna make 2 constructs here, dig something up from the library, and also play a couple, like at least one more Mox Opal and maybe some other artifacts. So there's gonna be big damage headed Natan's way. So Natan, you do want to do something here, right? You don't want to sit back reactively. And I mean, technically you could do that until you draw natural order, but thus far we don't even know if it's gonna resolve. I mean, Antonio pitched a second force, so that's maybe increasing the odds. What are we doing for 3 mana here? Like main phase endurance? I
Might
doubt it.
be Grist maybe or an X2 green
Oh, we're
stone.
gonna send it. Yeah, this is perfect. I mean, perfect in the sense that there's still like 2 huge artifacts smashing our head in, but at least it's a start. Or maybe it's
Ooh.
Fiend Artisan? You mentioned that, right?
It could be. Also, please note everyone that like this doesn't have to be a 2, right? This could very well also search up an Alascio Shepherd if needed, or
Oh,
on a
sneaky,
Reclaimer.
sneaky.
Yeah, you know, we got the mana.
By the way, is this out of the stack foil? But this is so cool. Dried Arbor. I mean, this is the good art. I was just gonna mention this. Like Wizards had the thing where they were like, okay, you know, your manlands they actually have to go to the front. Dried Arbor hiding behind that value, but yeah, this is the good art. I can excuse that. And
Right.
yeah, we changed our mind. It's actually gonna be Collector Oof coming down, shutting down that bobble. I mean, it's
Like
annoying.
yeah, this is interesting, right? Like Antonio didn't bobble in response. Maybe he was thinking like the collector oof just doesn't do a lot of damage, but maybe I'm gonna win with the constructs anyway, and I don't need the bobble. I need the bobble to stay in play, maybe, just because I want to grow those constructs.
Could be, yeah. I mean, right now Natan is not really threatening anything, but that's the beauty of like any natural order strategy. You could have a natural order, and if your opponent can, they should probably respect it to a certain degree. But now, like, if not, Antonio doesn't really have any other chance, then he can just like completely ignore it. Yeah, and right now, so we got Cage. Okay, that's a sweet one, dude. What about natural order? I don't think so anymore.
Yeah, also like a natural predator versus fiend artisan itself, right?
Yeah, is this card like
Oh,
does
not
this
too
card actually
bad.
shut down elves completely?
I mean, it makes fiend artisan a Tarmogoyf.
Not the worst card to have though. Like
So-
if you got a really big Tamagotchi, those constructs are currently still small in most Tamagotchis. These are 4/4. It looks like oh yeah, one of the constructs was actually snuffed out. Good. From Natan's side, you mentioned Force of Vigor earlier, right? That would be a
Right.
card that we'd love to draw here. Ignoble Hierarch, like all that mana stuff doesn't really do too much for us here until it gets like completely into critical mass territory. We
Yeah.
see a Green Sun Zenith in hand, and I think
Yeah.
a Cradle, right?
And an endurance. I think I can definitely spot an endurance.
So that's like 3, 6, 9 mana. We actually got 9 mana next turn if we want to. If we got a pitch for the endurance, and that could actually get oh no, it cannot get Cradle. See,
Right. Yeah. So we have a fair game here. Like the.
but I
on-
would
on-
call
on-
it all that
like
fair.
on both sides, right? Like the collector who's just making sure that Antonio doesn't go crazy with those bobbles, and you know, his mana, and Antonio also like makes sure with the cage that Natan doesn't do anything fancy, you know.
Yeah, you're right. Like in a way, they're actually neutralizing each other. They're trying to get the biggest creature into play. Like
Yeah.
this, in a way, this has like developed into a game of sealed. I wanna say, like who's got the biggest dragon right now? Antonio has the biggest dragon, but I mean Natan has a couple of his own. We got the Vault of where's the Vault of Whispers?
That's a
Seed of
it's a
Synod.
seed of
Yeah,
Synod,
makes a
yeah.
lot more sense actually.
And I think we do see the first combat trick now, mid combat endurance, which can very well block a thought monitor.
Yeah, that's gonna. Yeah, we're not gonna remove the graveyard, which is almost like a tell that you would have brought in Surgical. On the other hand, like removing the saga doesn't really accomplish anything, right? So yeah, I guess you can do that.
Orcish Ballmasters. Now this is interesting because Natan probably wanted to wait with Orcish Ballmasters until Antonio plays like a Thought Scour effect, right? But it can also like just, you know,
But
have like two bodies for 1/1. That's not too bad.
yeah, the thing is, Natan is down to 10, right? He would have taken like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 5 damage here. Like that's almost lethal. Like he has to start jump blocking, and I guess just like mana wise, he figured out this is the best turn, and now he's cracking back. And honestly, I think he's actually winning that race.
Yeah,
He's
that's
attacking
that's
for
7 points.
yeah.
That is a lot of damage. It's almost like cutting Antonio's life in half, almost. And
Yeah, and he's got 2 jump blocks waiting, and he can even take 1 more swing. Like right now, it's actually looking good for Natan. Sometimes you don't need the biggest dragon. You just like need a bunch of dogs and mid-range
Right.
bears. That's how it works. And from Antonio's side, I guess he would draw like you would want to draw Kappa Cannoneer or something.
Okay, I mean, there's a Sai, so Sai can do some jump block action here. Also, like its body is pretty it's pretty huge. Like it has like a lot of toughness.
Yeah, the side, like, it's problematic in the sense that because of the construct, you would have expected Antonio to play out all of his artifacts anyway. But we do see the second Mox Opal in hand, so that's something you want to only play now. But from here, since we can't really use bobbles, like we don't have a stream of. We got two of them. Okay, sweet. By the way, Kai, we just saw the Orcish Bombers. Is there like a Savatarix Orc token in the making?
Dude, a lot of people asked me already, and then that's
No, there's one more.
Dude, that's probably like gonna be like one of the next paintings I'm gonna be doing probably like this or next month. I'm so excited
Can I
about.
pre-order? Like, where do I do? Savatarix.
Oh, it's savatorix.com as always. Yeah.
I'm down.
I also got my Bowmasters ready. Like I got 3 of them, and you know, as you mentioned earlier, like I'm also like most of the time I play Doomsday, but something about this Golgari feet artisan deck, like it also I have like a sweet spot for this deck, and
Yeah, I have a sweet spot for Emery on this board. Like, Emery is actually going to allow us to make artifacts every single turn. You don't, like, usually, like, bringing back Thought Monitors is kind of cool because you can jump block and bring them back into cards. But we can't do that for many reasons, like Grafdigger's Cage and also the Orcish Bowmaster. But we can still, no, we can't even, we cannot play spells from the graveyard, right? So we can't even replay the
we cannot. No, we cannot.
Oh, so all of a sudden I don't like Emery as much anymore at all. Sorry, Emery, dumped you.
Well, this is some interesting like that construction, right? Like Grafdigger's like natural order decks must be such a bad thing for 8 cast that the 8 cast deck even decided to play Grafdigger's Cage, even though it hurts its own Emery, right?
Yeah.
And Feet Artisan, oh, it looks like a 2/2 for now.
I mean, that's Grafdigger's Cage is absolutely the MVP of this game thus far. We see 2 Green Sun Sunners stranded in Natan's hand. Double check Antonio making sure that Fiend Artisan doesn't really do anything under Grafdigger's Cage. So yeah, so from Nathan's side, there's really not too much to do, right? We're drawing towards Force of Liga, hopefully for his side.
Yeah.
I guess a hardcast Behemoth, if we ever find like a Cradle, will also be something. From Antonio's side, the name of the game is just like making flyers and making enough flyers to just get there.
Just surviving.
No, not even surviving. Like, we're building it up in the Air Force.
Yeah, like
Yeah, very much.
Right, I mean there's the endurance, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. Like, we build up like 5 or 6 tokens. Crash in, getcha.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, if you want to stay alive, that's fair game as well.
That's a lot. I gotta say, like, that's a lot of permanence for like a game of Legacy. This is like so many cards on the table.
You know what I want to play? I want to play Congregate. You know Congregate?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know if you can show Congregate on stream. It's actually the most broken card in my old school meta game. Like, not old school, but like 1999 when I started playing. Congregate was actually banned in my school for some point. It's a sorcery, 3 colorless and a white. You gain 2 life for every creature in play. So on this board, we would actually get like a new starting life total and then some. So
dude, that's game over. Yeah.
all of a sudden, like, the damage race is very much in your favor. If the first person to get down Congregate probably gets like a foil Japanese signed copy from me. I don't know if that actually adds to the value or not, but I will sign anything. Give me. Yeah, Lair of the Hydra, double checking. I lost to it in the first game. Is it going to kill me again in the second game? Not so much right now, but we will see. We will see.
Yeah, so like the Lair of the Hydra is kind of like a fireball-ish creature, right? Like, unfortunately, it doesn't really have any keywords to it, so it doesn't have trample, reach, or any of those things. But Natan has to start attacking. Like the longer he waits, the more stop this Antonio's gonna make, and like eventually they're gonna take over. So
you think that would actually be a way to win the game?
It's a way to delay the game, maybe.
Okay. Let's see. Honestly, Natan doesn't really look too happy about the current situation. They're counting up artifacts. Like, how big is this construct? I mean, at some point, Antonio can just like start turning the construct sideways every single turn because it demands a sacrifice. Like, we call that Abyss mode, right? When you have to sacrifice a creature to a blocker every single turn, that's called the Abyss. There's a foil Cradle, by the way. Dude, seriously, what's going on in Spain? Like, what are you guys doing? Like, where do you get all of these
like
cards from?
Yeah, dude, how often do you see
even like our video crashes here? Like, we can't even, like, we've seen enough. Okay, now it's back. There's only a limited amount of time per day that you are actually allowed to watch this. Whoa, what are we going to do here? We're going to make a big Hydra? I mean, maybe the Hydra is bigger. Like, okay, let me actually count.
Looks like it, yeah.
I'll be back in 2 minutes once I finish counting. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a 9/9 construct. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana of the Cradle. 8 mana of the Cradle. We can make a pretty big layer. No, this is so funny. Like, none of them actually has any good attacks, and they just keep adding to the board. This reminds me so much of Mercadia Masks Limited, seriously. Like, when I played Mercadia Masks Limited, it actually happened quite often, surprisingly often, that people decked out.
Really?
Because nobody had any good attacks. Like, every creature was like a 1/3, a 1/5. Like,
oh
we
yeah.
have an attack here. And yeah, it's like milling out. Oh, the construct grows 1 second. By the way, does the construct actually look like it's like in the in the evening sun? This looks amazing.
Yeah, kind of like
It's probably the foil
yeah, it's like
effect.
probably like the sunset version. Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm gonna have one of those from Kaiser Vatarix. Okay, we are fetching here. What are we gonna get here? Oh, the reclaimer. Maybe just like, yeah, basically what we call like thinning out the library. It really only has an effect in the very long run.
That is a real thing. Like, you know, just any land but Poseiju, basically. That is the one we want to draw.
Okay, this one comes into play tapped, of course. Let's play correctly. So if you really want to like add up the thinning out effect, which really only comes into effect like after quite a while, you want to fetch in the upkeep now. We don't probably. Okay, Natan. I mean, you could also just like sit back and maybe have like a second Dryad Arbor that you want to get later on. There's many ways to play this game. What did we pick up here, Kai? That's another Fiend Artisan?
It might be. It might be.
Yeah, I mean, that's you told us this is the best creature in the deck.
Dude, I mean, again, like, you know, anything that adds to the board is kind of welcome here.
Is it though? Is it, how big is it gonna be? Like a 3/3, 2-mana 3/3? Is this what we're doing in Legacy? Okay.
Yeah, that's another feat. And like Natan is so close
to what?
to win the game, basically. Like all he's looking for is like some answer to that Graph Digger's Cage, and then the game is technically over.
Or cast Cradle, right? I mean, at this point we could also cast Atraxa, right? We probably have enough mana to easily cast Atraxa.
Yeah, I gotta check the color requirements are kind of rough.
Yeah. Maybe that's Hierarch is gonna need to do some heavy lifting.
But you know, like Cradle Hoof is fine. Also, top decking Once Upon a Time is not terrible at all.
Oh, dude, I would feel so good about.
Yeah, because that can also like pick up.
You know what you're gonna see if you cast Once Upon a Time. You're gonna see like 3 Force of Figures and another card you don't find. It's like, okay.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, we're just like digging deeper into a library. Oh yeah, actually that's also another way. I think we actually did we sacrifice the Wineswept Teeth unused to the Reclaimer. I guess that's also like a way to conserve life total while digging deeper into a library. Okay.
And also like you
build your own
yeah,
cantrip.
and also I think that grew the Elvish Reclaimer just a tiny bit.
Yeah, it should be at max size already, I would think, by now.
Like look at this board. Look at this board.
Yeah.
It's just so much
You know, I sometimes call these like trading boards where like both players lay out that they're part of the trade. Like, okay, you get this half, you get that half. So like equal value. Okay. Imagine if you drew Overrun here. Old classic. I'd love to have that. Double Overrun. Let's do it.
Oh, like if one player played like an Illusion or something.
Both players, their boards, they do nothing. Both players, their hands, they do nothing. Right. Both players, their lands, they do nothing. Their graveyards, they do nothing.
Right.
And here we are. Uh-oh.
Okay, this is dangerous. This is highly dangerous. We do see a draw 2, and there's a Bowmaster, Orcish Bowmaster on Natan's side. So
I don't hate it though, honestly.
Yeah, Antonio's probably saying like, okay, I guess I take the 2 points of damage, and or lose 2 Thopters, like, you know, out of the 2. But I gotta draw some gas, and I think the card he's probably looking for the most is Kappa Cannoneer. Kappa Cannoneer does look pretty sweet. It doesn't need many attacks, like Natan is already on 8 life, so.
Yeah. But the Saga is also pretty good. The Saga is gonna add some more tokens, and most importantly, it's eventually gonna grab Swift Spear. So, what is it? Swift Spear?
I mean Shadow Spear.
Shadow Spear, dude.
Yeah,
I ranked 20 burn deck lists earlier today, actually. Seriously. We're gonna grab Shadow Spear, which is gonna give us lifelink and trample, and that's gonna make it so that we can really just like start running away with the game and like winning in the actually medium run, not even the long run. Because everything else in our hand, like nothing really matters. Natan's still drawing. He has no option to like actually use cantrips. What is it gonna be? But then again, Natan actually has some stuff that's really gonna just like turn the game around. What did we pick up here? Is that another Cradle or something? No, that's. Don't tell me it's another Zenith.
Yeah, so we have double green Sun Zenith in hand, and another Cradle. So we have billion of mana.
About 1 billion mana. It's actually confirmed. We had somebody do the math in the background. Yeah, it looks like we want to add even more mana to the board. Sure. Let's get rid of that fetch land here. Fetch land into fetch land, a classic legacy play, of course. Let's do it.
Dude, like,
And yeah, triple fetch. Dude, all of these
like,
fetch lands are foil.
like,
Seriously.
yeah, like the town might just die to fetch lands, maybe.
But he's not even using them. He's just like fetch land to fetch land to fetch land. That's the most economic use you could have, I would guess. Perfect. Like both players, they're trying to maximize their outs. I think that's another crate. Is that actually another crate? That would be insane.
It might be. It might be. Yeah.
But the problem
But I
really is
think
there's really only so many cards that Natan really wants to draw here, and there's really not that many. Oh, counting.
dude, if the guy's Cradle player counts mana, that's always like a scary thing.
Oh, that's not. No Senate here.
Ooh,
Oh.
that's a Mask Vandal. Okay, so for everyone who doesn't know, like this is like a changeling for 2 mana from Kaltheim. It's a 1/3, and when it enters the battlefield, you can exile a creature from your graveyard, and if you do, you have a naturalize effect.
So
And that might just be
that takes the game, right?
it might just be the answer to Grafdigger's Cage, yeah, and this might end the game. Like Natan doesn't even have to cast a card from his hand. Like he can simply use Feed Artisan to go grab a Crate of Behemoth or yeah. I mean,
Oh yeah, you're saying you if
like I would probably not even try to cast a spell because that might just get countered, right? Feed Artisan, like that can only get stifled maybe.
so Antonio needs to. We're not cracking those. Oh, he's okay. He's sacrificing them to Sai. Yeah, sure. That's a use. We're sacrificing those tokens to Sai to. Like, I mean, that also allows Natan to shoot extra damage.
like yeah, like
But yeah, you have to find the Forceful. Okay, even bigger army token. The 1 damage. Where is it gonna go? Did it go to the face? It looks like they're writing down life totals. Yeah. Tony down to 4. Like he can pull the trick off. Like I guess one more time.
So close. I mean, there's a blue pitch card.
Easy as that.
It is so close, dude. Mass Vandal.
Like I mean, technically, Antonio could also be like, okay, whatever, you got that, but you won't be able to kill me. But Natan is very likely to kill him. If not this turn, then next turn. So I think you just like you bite the bullet. Yeah.
Yeah,
You take the 2 of the engine 2.
I love it. I love it. All in.
Actually, that deals even more damage. Oh, this is
This
at this point, honestly, Natan might just have more attackers than Antonio has blockers. I mean, some of his attackers don't deal damage, like the noble hierarchs and his friend, the odd friend.
Whoa! No, but he's on
no.
1 life. No. Oh no!
Oh, dude,
This is
seriously.
insane.
Bowmasters actually made the difference.
Oh man, like there was even the forceful will, but not enough life points.
This is actually insane. He found the Forceful, but he could not cast it.
Yeah, that's if there is a magic god, then he knows what's up.
You know the flavor text of like the judgment wishes, like he wished for this but not for that. This is like he wished for ability but not for the life to make it work or something to apply it. Loving it, absolutely loving it. So we're switching over to our Time Walk match. I actually don't know who's gonna be in that, but our producer tells us this is gonna be on stream next to us. So for those who don't know, we're gonna have 2 matches every single round. There's gonna be next to no downtime, or unless the internet gods of Spain don't cooperate. But yeah, let's see what the other match is gonna show us. But Kai, what did you learn? Never underestimate Cradle control.
Never, ever. Again, that Gaia's Cradle, like we talked about this like earlier, but Gaia's Cradle is an insane magic card. Like everyone who has been playing Vintage maybe knows how powerful Tolarian Academy is, and with so many 1-mana 1/1s in this deck, like that land can just quickly go crazy.
I mean, by now, Gaia's Cradle is even like a vintage card, right? Like in all those benchmark decks, I've seen it do like a
oh yeah, because I mean, if they can do like one thing, is just pay for all the Tabernacle triggers, right?
Okay, chat has some interesting takes. Ban Green and Legacy, unban Academy.
Dude, love it. I love it.
Seriously, keep it coming. We want to hear more about this new Legacy that you guys are talking about.
Yeah, you guys should get hired by Wizards of the Coast, seriously.
Yeah, unban. What's the craziest card you can unban? Chaos Orb? Probably something like that.
for maximum gameplay.
Yeah, turn 1 Chaos Orb, easy. Okay.
That is crazy. So we got Cradle control again, like Golgari, Artisan. We got it at 4-0 undefeated. Congratulations, Natan. That's an incredible showing of the deck. And again, this deck just recently popped up, right? And it got even better with Orcish Bowmaster. It looks incredible there. Kush Bomas, there's also a nice combo with Guy's Cradle. It's not terrible, right? Like it's kind of for free.
It's one of those things, right? Where you play, you invest the mana, you get it right back, and later
Yeah.
on you actually like
Pay
get
2
dividends of
mana,
it. Yeah,
tap
sure.
Guy's Cradle, gain 2 mana.
Dude, seriously, as long as we keep staying on the screen, I see the one life on Antonio's side in the force that he actually ended
Dude,
up
yeah.
on. I
That's
actually I
like
feel sorry.
I feel
Sorry.
so
But yeah, that's
yeah.
magic, right? Still 3-1, you're still live for top 8. This is 6 rounds. If you start off 3-0 and you go 4-2, there's a good chance you can make top 8,
Oh,
depending on how your
absolutely.
tiebreakers work out. Cradle control, I want to say this is the best version of Nickfit I've ever seen, which doesn't, that's probably like not the highest benchmark, but
Right.
gotta give it where it's basically at this point like Maverick, but more unfair. Like
Yeah.
Maverick is not exactly known to be unfair, even though it sometimes feels like it when you have like the even mind sensor. But I'm excited for the second one. I'm curious what that's gonna be. Oh, we get the news that the time walk match is actually not available. It's lost in time, but we see there's still, how much is that? 16 minutes in the round. We will figure out how that works. Stay tuned. There's gonna be
Yeah.
more legacy later. And Kai, in the
Also, like,
meantime,
I also like a big shout out to everyone who's been watching the stream. Like, I know we had a little bit of like trouble here and there with some audio and things like that, but thank you so much for sticking with us. We're having a blast here in Spain. And again, I'm here for the very first time, and I love it already. Almost want to like move here, and we see a lot of like spicy decks against. Again, like all the decks are like so pimped out and teched, and everyone's just having a good time, and that's why we're here.
also I want to hear like what's your excuse not to come to Impact Returns? I think at this point we have a little bit of time. So what the guys told me about Impact Returns, I knew about the tournament in the past, and I wanted to come here, but I never really made it. And then I talked to one of the organizers, Inigo. You might know Inigo, like Runecore of the whole Cradle Control community. And he just told us, guys, seriously, come here and do the commentary, have a good time. And I'm so happy that we actually did. Because this is not only one of the biggest ones. I told you guys earlier today, we're going to have almost 200 players in the Legacy main event tomorrow. This is also just, it's one of those things that right now we're really only getting, I want to say, like in Europe, where the community, the Legacy community, creates tournaments for the Legacy community. So we're staying here in Natan, in the convention hall of the city, and all of this is supported by Natan, our sponsors, but mostly by the free labor all of these people put in here. So this is like not a commercial operation. This is really just a labor of love for the Legacy community. And that's also why we are here, right? We want to grow this. We want to attract more of you people here. You should seriously come here. Like the convention hall is amazing. The food is amazing. You can easily like add a holiday in Galicia, or you like, for example, I'm going down to Portugal right afterwards. Kai, I think you have to leave again.
I have to leave on Monday, but
Why would you do that? Seriously.
I asked myself like the same question yesterday after we had dinner. And I eat a lot of seafood since I'm from Japan. But yesterday I had like
Jesus, seriously, that's such a stereotypical thing to say.
it is right. Like,
I eat a lot of sauerkraut because I'm from Germany. Actually, I haven't had sauerkraut in like 20 years or something.
but I tell you, like the seafood we had yesterday, it was insane. It was like not the first time, but like I rarely eat seafood without soy sauce, and it was a delight. So like for if you like Magic, if you like modern, if you like Legacy, or even older Magic, such as I don't know, like old school or vintage, and even if you like gourmet food, you should probably consider coming to one of the
very,
future
very
events.
much
Yeah,
consider.
because I remember like the first time I went to the Four Seasons event in Bologna, and I was so thrilled about everything, like the food and the tournament itself, and I have the very same experience like I'm having right now.
Yeah.
So
It's Swifty time saying in chat. It sounds so good, must be a scam. Swifty, didn't we actually play recently on in the challenge? I remember your name, but I don't remember what you played. But no, you gotta come here and find out, because this is certainly not a scam. I mean, Kai and I wouldn't be here if it was a scam. The only
Right.
scam we run is our podcast, where we allegedly like share knowledge about the Legacy format and stuff. Like those far, it's actually kind of worked out for us.
Okay.
But Kai, seriously, like if you were to play a tournament